Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show how you can create a model to use with the CEB Mocap. You have to at first follow 10 steps to create the model and apply it on the CEB Mocap. After creating a model, you just have to run 2 steps. Let's go. Blender with we need to go to new video editing at first, because you need to make the video in the format that Yolov5 needs. So I'll grab a video. I'll remove the audio part and I'll make it at the size of the video, which is 600 and some frames. You can automatically choose the end of the video using Ctrl End, so it puts the end where your cursor is. So I'll put it here. Home to show everything on the screen. And okay, what's important part here, you got to get the video and create a sequence of images with the resolution 460 by 460. So here we put 460, 100%. Let me choose the folder, tutorial, accept. So we're going to create an image sequence of PNG files in this folder. And you can see my face is very large, so I can click on this track, go to transform and scale it a bit. I think it's fine. So it's everything here. Now we are ready to export the sequence of images. We go to view, sequence render animation. You will see that it is creating the files. And it's done. Now we can get rid of this and create a new one, VFX. Don't need to save. Here you have the CEB Yolov5 Annotation tool. You can go to the open and import those sequence of images. Select all, pressing A, open clip. It shows here. You can go to the CEB. You can, if you have more than one video, you can select here the one you're gonna track. Now we're going to track what part is important for us to create a model. In this case, I'm gonna create a model to track the eyebrows, but you can create almost everything with it. Let's see, you can control click to create a track. I'm gonna name it eyebrow. Left. Create another one here. Eyebrow. Right. One important thing that I added to CEB Mocap tool was the ability to use a point of reference, so you get a better data. What I did and worked quite well was adding where in a place that I won't have deformation, I won't have movement, or at least it's the point of reference of all the movements in the image. I found that the middle part of the nose is a good one, and I expanded to the corner of the eyes, this corner. But I just want this part. Maybe there's a better place, but I didn't test it too much. It was a nice one for me. And the important thing, you must name it ref. This one must be named ref. Okay, now we have our 3 points and we can track all of them. You can press A to select all of them. You can press Ctrl T or this button here, so it starts tracking everything. And you can see all of them were tracked without a problem. So now we have all our tracks. We can export it. We have to select a path to export. I'm going to export here, data. I'm going to export here. I choose the path. Now I'm going to export the files. And now I notice that I did something wrong. I should export to the same place I exported files. That's no problem. Okay, let me erase this folder. The images are in the folder FF1. So the path is going to be FF1. Export the data. Now you see that we have the text files with the information about the tracking and the image in the same folder. Now we have to create the split training validation test datasets to create the model. And here is where we choose another folder so it won't be messed up. I'm gonna go to FF1, I'm gonna go back one folder and create another one. FF1 training data. And I'm gonna save it on this path. Now I can choose, usually the good split is 17, 20, and 10 to the test set, but you can choose other values. I'm gonna leave in the default. So you can press split data, and now you have the data splitted between those 3 datasets randomly. You can see here, you got the labels in this folder, images here, and we have also the configuration file to the model. Now that we have all these files, I must zip this folder to send it to Google. Now I have all my training data zipped, and we go back to the Google Colab. Going on the Google Colab notebook, we can import the file that we just processed on Yolov5 Annotation tool. We just have to follow the instructions and the commands that are already written here. So let's start. So the Python, you clone the Yolov5 folder, enter that folder. You see here, if you update, it's going to show the new file. We must install the requirements for Yolov5. Wait a little bit. After this install finishes, we can upload our file, our zip file created just some time ago. It finishes. Now I can click on this folder. It's going to show its contents, and when I'm hovering over the Yolov5 folder, You can press on this button to see the option upload, and we select the file we just created, the zip file with the training data, and wait until it uploads. I'm gonna pause a little bit to wait for the upload. You can see here the upload is almost finishing. We just have to wait a little bit more. Now that the upload finished, we can execute this command below. One important thing you must be sure is to have the same name of the zip file that you upload. If it's not with the same name, you can get it easily clicking on rename file, and you press Ctrl C to copy the file name and paste here. And also here. Now you execute this command, see that it worked, and execute also this command, that is to set the location of the file you just unzipped. You can see the folder created here. If it doesn't show, you press this button to refresh the folder. Let's move on. Here you can see the contents of the data YAML file, and these 3 blocks you just have to execute it. And now we're going to the important part. This is the training. You just have to click here to execute the training. This is execution. By default, it's running on 100 epochs, and it's going to finish the training after it gets to this 100 times. Below here, you are going to see the execution of the training. You can see that it's starting and created a lot of folders here. And you can see 0 to 99 epochs. We're going to have to wait for it to process all of this, and it will take a while. So I'm gonna pause the video and I'll get back when it's finishing. We are getting to the end of the training. Just have 6 epochs left. You can see here on the other epoch that it got some numbers here. From what I noticing, as bigger as the MAP is, the better. I'm not completely sure of that, but what I'm sure is when you have MAP 0, usually your model won't work. And this usually happens when you have small amounts of data, like less than 100. All the tests I've done with less than 100, I got a model that didn't work. And these numbers, MAP, were all 0 or very close to 0. So if you have a problem, if your MAP is small, get more data, get more images with the tracking, and it will probably work. You can see here the resume of the process. I had, for the 3 tracking I did, they had this 0.995 score, which seems to be good. Well, we're going to test. Okay, now that the training is finished, we can see here that it said that the results are on the run train Yolov5 results. So we can go to Yolov5 folder, run, train, Yolov5 as a result, weights. Oh yeah, here it says result, weights, best. That's the file that we are going to pick up to use on CEB Mocap. So here it is. You can click here and do the download. You can download it wherever you want on your PC. Let's download it, and I'm gonna show what to do next. So tutorial, I'm gonna save as best FF1 and save it. Okay. Now we got this model file, and we can load Blender. Important thing here, for this to work, for CEB Mocap to work, you need to use the custom Blender that I made available on the page, because this custom Blender has a lot of packages that it's going to be needed here. So I open the custom Blender. I can choose the import model to make that model that we just trained available to the add-on. So I'm gonna here import file, let me go to the tutorial. So I'm gonna get this best F1 and import. Now you can see it here, and I'm going to select it and choose a video to test. I can go to the one that I trained was using this one, so it should work very well here. But let's try. Load a video. One important thing, you choose a video and you can select these two options and then run the model to see how it's going to track stuff on your footage. But having these two selected, you will have this lowest performance. So I suggest that you only save the result video if you're gonna analyze it and see what it tracked. Show preview, it's okay to see how it's going. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use only show preview to see how it's gonna go. And you can see this is those are the tracking that I've done, the eyebrow right, eyebrow left. And you can see this number here is the confidence. It's how much he's sure that these are the places that we want to be tracked. So you can see he's doing a nice track, and we must wait for it to finish. And it's done. After this process, we can load the data processed from that video, clicking here. And it's going to load some bones with the names of the tracking that we've done. You can see this in pose mode. Here it's eyebrow right, eyebrow left, and the reference. And if we play, we're gonna have the movement. But there's one problem that I'm still solving. The importing of the data is very noisy yet. I'm working on that. But you can just let me just a moment. Let me put this down top the animation. Okay. You will have at this moment a very noisy data, but at the moment one thing that you can do to make it better to work is going to the graph editor, press A to select all the bones, press home to see better the keyframes, and select everyone, go to key, it's move keys, and it's gonna do a good job on moving them. And you can play to test it. You can see it's much smoother, better to view. If you find that it's not okay, you can try and smooth it again. And it will be a bit better. So just to finish it, let me show it with another video. Let me erase this. Okay. I choose a video that I use to do the model, but let me choose another one, a smaller one. See how it goes. To be honest, I think this is the same video but a smaller one. Yeah, sorry. Let me get another video. It's this is a completely different video. Let's see how it goes. You can see the advantage of CEB Mocap using the Yolov5 and all the technologies it's using is that you train once and you can apply that model to get the information on a lot of video. Probably if you have a very different video, it might not work and you probably will have to create a new model for that. But anyway, just following the tutorial, you can create lots of models to do basically whatever you want. If you want to track any kind of 2D stuff in a video, you can do it using the CEB Mocap, and we will keep developing it to get a better information. It's developed of 1 month by now, and we tend to keep on developing it, so I hope it gets much better in the future. So here I'm going to load the data track from that video. You can see here, of course, it's still noisy, so what I'm gonna do is smooth it. You see it's still not so good, so I'm gonna smooth it again. Now it's a bit better. That's it for now. Thanks.